Ever stopped to imagine what it feels like to come face to face with a shark and suddenly realize you've made a terrifying mistake? These real encounters prove that a single misstep can transform simple curiosity into pure chaos. Ask yourself, what would you do if a great white suddenly confused you for prey? In San Diego, a team of divers got far more excitement than they ever intended when a massive great white decided they were worth investigating.
Literally, whoa! There it is!
The footage begins with excited voices as the men spot the enormous predator circling their small vessel. At first, it's all adrenaline and amazement, until the shark grows bolder and lunges directly for the boat's motor, clamping down with incredible force. Still stunned, the group keeps filming, trying to capture the sheer size of the animal from a dangerously close range. And just when things seem as though they couldn't escalate further, the recording cuts out, leaving us to wonder whether they walked away with a thrilling story or a nightmare. Far below the ocean's surface near New Caledonia, a routine research dive quickly shifted into a desperate fight for survival. At 120 meters deep, divers Julian and Julia were finishing their mission when they noticed a gray shark making strange, twitching movements. Curious, they watched until curiosity became dread. With no warning at all, the shark charged. In an instant, Julian's mask was torn away and his head was caught between the predator's jaws. Blood clouded the water as he tried to remain calm. Panic at that depth meant death. And with his rebreather damaged and oxygen running dangerously low, he was forced to begin a grueling 2-hour ascent through shark-infested waters. Every minute stretched into eternity. Yet against all odds, Julian surfaced alive, shaken, bleeding, but breathing. His composure under unimaginable pressure is the only reason he survived. A haunting reminder that even the most stunning depths of the ocean can turn lethal without warning. In 2016, near the Galapagos Islands, a boat full of tourists watched wide-eyed as great white sharks circled, feeding on bait. The excitement was electric, until everything went terribly wrong. Out of nowhere, a massive shark lunged and forced its way inside a diving cage.
Here we go. Oh my God.
Panic erupted instantly. Crew members rushed to open the hatch, but the water exploded with bubbles and thrashing metal. For several agonizing seconds, nobody could see where the diver was, or if he was still alive. Then, in a shocking twist, the shark burst upward through the top of the cage and vanished. Silence fell, until the diver finally surfaced, miraculously alive, clutching his camera like a trophy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez.
Relief washed over everyone. Inside a cage or not, the ocean never plays by human rules.
There it is! There it is!
It's 12 feet long and it weighs about 1,000 pounds easy. Holy!
Just minutes before this next clip, a kayaker spotted a great white shark lurking nearby. He could sense it might return, and he was right. As he explained to his camera what had happened earlier, the shark suddenly reappeared, this time clearly visible on film.
Dude, great white just had my line. It came up right to my boat, twice.
It's 12 feet long and it weighs about 1,000 pounds easy.
Completely unaware of the attention above the water, The shark glides by calmly, then disappears back into the deep. On November 4th, 2007, what should have been an ordinary dive near the searcher vessel erupted into chaos. A massive great white named Cece, short for cut caudal, rose from the depths, aiming for a bait line. With his eyes rolled back for protection, he slammed headfirst into the cage, wedging himself halfway inside while two divers were still trapped within. Unable to swim backward, the disoriented shark thrashed violently, shredding the entire front of the cage in under 10 seconds before managing to break free. Amazingly, both divers escaped unharmed, with one even filming the entire ordeal. Cece swam off, leaving everyone on board with a lesson they would never forget. When you meet the ocean's apex predator face to face, control is an illusion. This next video features a team of professional divers swimming toward what appears to be a specific target area. As the clip continues, their cameras capture a fish gliding through the water, beautiful enough on its own. But what follows is something they'll never forget. Just before they enter what seems to be a forgotten shipwreck, a great white shark drifts into view. It isn't enormous, but its presence alone commands respect. After a brief appearance, it simply glides away, allowing the divers to continue their mission, though with a much faster heartbeat. In Monterey Bay, California, a swimmer unknowingly drifted toward danger until a drone operator spotted something chilling beneath the surface. A great white shark. Without hesitation, Eric tried to warn the swimmer, who had no idea what was lurking just feet away. Although warning signs had been posted, most people never expect a real encounter. But warmer waters are drawing sharks closer to shore, increasing the chances of crossing paths. Luckily, this became a story of a close call rather than a tragedy, a reminder of how vital awareness can be. This next man was peacefully exploring marine life when a sudden visit from a massive great white flipped his world upside down. The video begins with him calmly drifting through the water. Spear gun pointed toward a shadow moving beneath him. The shark notices him. Everything changes. It turns and heads straight his way. Shaken, the diver tries repeatedly to push the shark back with his spear gun. After the tense standoff, he finally escapes and returns to his boat, where he sits in stunned silence, replaying the near disaster in his mind. Along the South African coast, two kayakers found themselves in a heart-stopping encounter with a 13-foot great white. One of the men spotted the shark approaching, grabbed his camera, and began filming.
Oh, there, I can see it.
For several nerve-wracking minutes, the shark circled their kayaks, coming painfully close over and over again. Somehow, the men remained calm, even tossing bait into the water to get a better look. But they seemed to forget. Out here, they are the bait.
Oh yeah, here comes again.
Eventually, the shark lost interest and vanished into the deep, leaving them with trembling hands and a story they'd never forget. Another diver, intensely focused on spearfishing in murky water, had no idea death was swimming right behind him. Visibility was poor. He couldn't see the threat approaching. Then suddenly, a violent tug. He was yanked backwards, spinning in confusion. One of his fins was gone. A great white had ripped it clean off. Panic surged. The diver grabbed his spear gun. His only lifeline. As the shark circled for a second attack, he steadied himself and managed to push it away just in time. But the predator returned again. This time, the diver struck first. His desperate thrust finally drove the shark off into the green abyss. Shaking intensely but alive, he swam until he found his team, missing a fin, but carrying a story very few survivors could ever tell. In early 2017, Dutch biologist and TV host Freek Vonk was filming a documentary off Bimini Island in the Bahamas, an area known for its calm, mostly harmless reef sharks. What was meant to be a simple segment for the cameras turned terrifying in an instant.
Interessante en fascinerende dieren waar we nog hebben.
As Vonk swam among the sharks, one suddenly lunged and latched onto his right arm. The water turned red.
Okay, hospital. That's really deep. Really deep.
Despite the shock, he stayed composed while his team rushed him onto a boat and into a helicopter for emergency treatment. After a 3-hour surgery and over 100 stitches, he survived.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible right there. Okay, that is bad.
Vonk later insisted it wasn't an attack, but an unfortunate misunderstanding. "I was simply very unlucky," he said. "These sharks aren't dangerous. One just made a mistake." Veteran abalone diver Ron Elliott was calmly exploring the seafloor off South Africa when the ocean reminded him who truly rules it. Out of the blue, a massive great white launched upward and slammed into him with the force of a speeding car. The impact sent Ron spinning helplessly through the water. He braced himself for the second hit, but it never came. The shark circled once, then vanished as silently as it had appeared. What started as a peaceful sightseeing cruise off Tasmania quickly shifted into a nightmare. Passengers admired the towering mountain island on the horizon, unaware of what waited beneath the waves. The sea was rough, the water churned, hiding any danger below. Then, impact. A ferocious jolt shook the boat as a massive great white burst through the waves and rammed the hull again, jaws snapping dangerously close. Panic consumed the deck as the predator circled for another strike. Engines roared. Shouts filled the air. With only seconds to react, the crew accelerated hard, tearing through the waves and barely escaping the attacking shark. A stark reminder. Out here, humans are never the top hunter. How would you react in these terrifying moments? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, remember to like and share. It truly helps the channel grow.